So I've been watching YouTube for a very long time, definitely over 10 years, and I have some observations for the creators who I consider myself a core audience member of. Not the ones where I watch 1 out of every 10 videos they post. I mean the ones where I watch a vast majority of their content, and I probably watch it within a few days of when it comes out. So the first thing that I wish that they knew was that it's probably okay if you post less content if it's higher quality. If you look at a lot of those channels that only post once a month or even once every few months, but maintain their subscribers, well, it works because they have high quality content, so they can do that. Vast majority of the people I watch put a decent amount of effort into their projects, and they think that they have to upload every week or every other week, but it seems like YouTube treats those channels that put more effort into their videos reasonably well, even if it feels like the algorithm pulls them the other way. And just as an audience member, I'm willing to watch fewer videos and still stay subscribed if it feels like they're high effort videos. Like if they have more value, then that's more value for me, and I like that. So my second point is about what content you make. Chances are, I'm here for you. I am here for your personality. I'm not here because, you know, of the subgenre that you're in. If you make gaming content, I'm here because of your personality. So if you are only making the content that you feel like you're supposed to make, as opposed to the stuff that you're really interested in, that you are going to be more passionate in, as a viewer, I'm probably gonna notice. And to a certain extent, that's fine. Sometimes you have to phone it in, you have a sponsorship deal or whatever, I don't know how that works. If you're consistently going in a direction and it feels like you're just playing the algorithm and you're not being yourself, I'm gonna notice, and chances are after a little bit, I'm gonna leave that core audience group and go more into that peripheral audience where I watch, you know, like 1/10 of your videos instead of most of your videos. I'll probably unsubscribe. Whereas if you're being really authentic, I'd pretty much watch anything. And that leads me to my next point, which is that I would rather watch you talk about what you care about, or watch you do what you care about, or do a format that you really like and are invested in, than what you think is trendy. You know, a lot of commentary channels I watch, they'll make videos about broad cultural things, and that's great, but it's very high effort. So sometimes they just talk about like TikTok trends or something, which you can definitely make very interesting, but a lot of the time it's very low-hanging fruit, and I notice that it's low-hanging fruit, and unless you are fully at your best in terms of how you're performing, I'd rather you just relax and talk about something you care about. I think about the Sad Boys podcast. Generally, their brand is like them talking about their feelings and how they're doing, but then sometimes they just talk about Pokemon Go. But that's fine, because they're being themselves and they're having so much fun, and they are sharing themselves through what they care about, which means their podcast episodes are longer, they have more to talk about, they have higher energy, and it's great. I love it. And I think they realize it too, because they are willing to make really long episodes. Which actually leads me to my next point. Longer content is great. I watch you for you. I will absolutely watch more of you. Now, I understand for some people they feel like that is gonna mess with like their channel or their algorithm things. Whatever, you could put it behind a Patreon paywall, you can put it behind, you know, a second channel or something. But if people are watching you for your personality, then they want more of you. And it doesn't have to be high production value. That's why people want all of their favorite creators to start a podcast, because they just want more of you. Hey, editing me here, just to say, one thing I forgot to mention, as someone who doesn't have good audio equipment to make this video, for creators trying to level up their game equipment-wise, production value-wise, I gotta say, audio matters so much more than visuals, so much more than anything else. If your audio is bad, no matter how good your visuals are, I'm gonna notice that the audio is bad, because everyone has good cameras now. People's phone cameras are fantastic, and so it doesn't make sense to level up your visuals before your audio is good, because most people don't have good audio, but most people do have good visuals, and you will stand out if you have really crisp audio. Take it from someone who wishes that she did have good audio. That's all. You may wonder why, you know, some of your supporters who watch every video aren't supporting your Patreon or memberships or whatever you're doing. We just can't afford it. But I think you're great, and if you posting less on your main channel means you can post more on your Patreon and make more money, that's something I'm fully behind. One day when I get disposable income, I will absolutely support you. Another thing I wish they knew is that sometimes less editing is better. Like sometimes I don't need a lot of jump cuts. I don't need a lot of, you know, things happening on the screen. I don't need whatever words popping up. I don't really need that. I understand that it's a form of comedy and that can be great. Some channels are fantastic at it. I don't think anyone really needs it. In fact, sometimes it can be kind of overstimulating. Like it feels like I'm trying to listen to the person and there's someone directly to their left just like jangling keys in front of me to try to make it more, I don't know, friendly into shorts or something. I don't know why they do that. Oftentimes I'm watching the videos to relax because, like I said, I'm watching you, for your personality. And instead there's a million sound effects, jump cuts, green screen effects. And again, sometimes it's great, but you don't have to do it. In fact, some channels it's really preferable if they don't. If the content is substantial, that'll speak for itself. You really don't need a whole lot there. But, you know, this is just one person's take. And this one isn't very relevant because I don't think I often watch the people who have to do this, but if you have to apologize for something, be genuine, put your money where your mouth is. That's a great way to show your values, your authenticity, and don't throw a pity party, at least not publicly. There have been times where a channel, you know, gets feedback about something and that feedback's very negative, and so they say, oh, I'm sorry about this, I didn't mean to offend people, I didn't mean for anyone to get hurt, and then 2 weeks later, they're on their channel like, well, I'm going through a really hard time right now, implying that the feedback that they got about whatever offensive thing they said is worse than the offensive thing that they said. And no, it's not. I don't feel bad for you. No one made you be a content creator. Just own up to it, be genuine, and move on. It's not that deep. No one cares. Just move on. Believe it or not, we don't all have parasocial relationships with you. I don't operate under the delusion that I'm friends with any of the content creators I watch. I don't think that I know more about their lives than they share or that they frame however they frame in their videos. And that's okay. You don't have to try to make people more attached to you than they need to be. You don't need to share your inner personal life if you don't want to. You don't actually depend on the parasocial relationship that you think you do. And lastly, wish content creators would show their pets more. Okay, not this one. Let me go get a good one. Say hi, Toothless. Look at this one. Her name is Toothless, named after How to Train Your Dragon, Toothless the dragon, because when she eats, she looks a lot like Toothless. And here she is. And if you're a content creator and you have one of these, you should show me more. I think that's great. But I am just one viewer of many, so what do I know? Thanks for watching. Come back next week when I am going to be making a tier list of all my cats based on 3 categories: aesthetic, beauty, affection, and stinkiness. Thank you.